So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, text 24. Chapter 24. The chapter is entitled as Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. And in that we are reading today text 59. 4, 24, 59. न यस्य चित्तं बहिरर्थ विभ्रमाम् तमो गुहायं च विशुद्धम् आभिशत् यद्भक्ति योगा नुगृहीतमञ्जसा मुनिर्विचस्ते ननु तत्र ते गतिम् न यस्य चित्तं बहिरर्थ विभ्रमम् तमो गुहायां च विशुद्धमाभिशत् यद्भक्ति योगानुगृहीतमञ्जसा मुनिर्विचस्ते ननु तत्र ते गतिम् न यस्य चित्तं बहिरर्थ विभ्रमम् तमो गुहायां च विशुद्धमाभिशत् यद्भक्ति योगानुगृहीतमञ्जसा मुनिर्विचस्ते ननु तत्र ते गतिम्. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The devotee whose heart has been completely cleansed by the process of devotional service and who is favored by Bhakti Devi does not become bewildered by the external energy, which is just like a dark well being completely cleansed of all the material contamination. In this way, a devotee is able to understand very happily your name, your fame, your form, and activities, etc. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, 25th verse, 3, 25, 25. Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti ritkarana rasayana katha tajoshanadapi apavargavartmani shraddharatir bhaktir anukramishati. Simply by the association of pure devotees can one understand the transcendental name, fame, quality, and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has repeatedly said, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Simply by associating with the pure devotee, one becomes wonderfully advanced in Krishna consciousness. Sadhu Sangha, or association of the devotees, means always engaging in Krishna consciousness by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and by acting for Krishna. Specifically, chanting the Hare Krishna mantra purifies one, and this chanting is therefore recommended by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Cheto darpana marjanam. Yes. By chanting the names of Krishna, the mirror of the heart is cleansed, and the devotee loses interest in anything or everything external. Yes. When one is influenced by the external energy of the Lord, his heart is impure. When one's heart is not pure, he cannot see how things are related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Idam hi vishwam bhagavat ivetaraha. He whose heart is purified can see that the whole cosmic manifestation is but the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he whose heart is contaminated sees things differently. Therefore, by satsanga, association of devotees, one becomes perfectly pure in the heart. One who is pure in heart is never attracted by the external energy, which urges the individual soul to dominate the material nature. So, external energy urges the individual soul to dominate the material nature. The pure heart of a devotee is never disturbed when he executes devotional service in the form of hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. In all, there are 9 processes one can follow in the execution of devotional service. In any case, a pure hearted devotee is never disturbed. The Bhakti Yoga process must be carried out by avoiding the 10 offenses one can commit while chanting the Mahamantra and the 64 offenses one can commit while worshipping the deity. When a devotee strictly follows the rules and regulations, Bhakti Devi becomes very much satisfied with him. And at that time, he is never disturbed by anything external. A devotee is also called a Muni. The word Muni means thoughtful. A devotee is as thoughtful as a non devotee. The non devotee's speculation is impure, but a devotee's thoughts are pure. Lord Kapila, Sukadev Goswami are called Muni, and Vyasadeva is addressed as Mahamuni. Yes. A devotee's address is Muni or thoughtful when he purely understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conclusion is that when one's heart is purified by the association of devotees and by the avoidance of the offenses committed when chanting and worshipping the Lord, the transcendental name, form, the activities of the Lord are revealed by the Lord. The devotee whose heart has been completely cleansed by the process of devotional service and who is favored by Bhakti Devi does not become bewildered by the external energy, which is just like a dark well, being completely cleansed of all the material contamination in this way. When a devotee is able to understand, see, a devotee is able to understand very happily your name, fame, form, and activities, etc. Srila Prabhupada explains in this verse how the association of devotees is that one point powerful factor which ensures tremendous spiritual progress. And Prabhupada is saying, Satam prasangat mama virya samvidu. The association of devotees guarantees Navida Bhakti. Kavanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmanivedanam. These six processes are ensured by the association of devotees. And therefore, Prabhupada is quoting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kaya Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hai. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hai. So the association of devotees creates an awakening in one's life. Generally, the material affairs overpower one's consciousness so much so that one is completely lost and absorbed in it. It is the association of devotees which creates an awakening from the deep slumber. And therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu established this awakening army. What is the devotees' business? A devotee's business is to go everywhere and awaken people. How? By saying, Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Gora Chanda Bole, Hota Nidra, Yao Maya, Pisachira Kole, Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Gora Chanda Bole. Enechi Oshadhi Maya Nashibarola Age Say Harinama Mantra Lao Tumi Mahangi Say Harinama Tomare Loite Ami Oinu Avatara Ami Bina Bandhu Ara Ke Ache Tomara. So here, so the devotee is like the wake up army, the devotee is like the wake up army, wake up and shake up, and beacon people to take up, so take up is preceded by shake up and wake up, so therefore Krishna consciousness is the shake up and wake up process actually. And that's what Lord Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is portraying the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this beautiful song, in which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is beconing everyone that how long, for sleeping souls, how long will you keep sleeping in the lap of which Maya? Oh, please wake up. Oh, please wake up. You said that when you will take birth, when you come out of the womb of mother, you will chant Hare Krishna. But why have you forgotten? Rohile, Huliya Rohile Tumi, Avidya Rabhare. So, but owing to avidya, owing to ignorance, you have forgotten that. And therefore, I have come to this world to give you this Harinam. I have brought this medicine. Enachi Oshadhi Maya Nashibaro Lagi Sai Harinama Mantra Lao tumi mangi. So you can take this Harinam mantra. I have come to this world only for your sake. Who else? There cannot be any who else can be a well-wisher to you other than me. This is Lord Chaitanya's mood actually. And the Lord Chaitanya is showing this should be every devotee's mood, that to reach out to everyone actually, to reach out to everyone, the awakening, because the nature of Maya is that Maya overpowers so much so that one gets lost, so one gets absorbed and lost in a slumber, so one needs to be shaken up and woken up. Please wake up to the reality of life, which is Krishna consciousness. Like for example, we see in the life of Sripad Yamunacharya. So when his in the phase of his life where his Krishna consciousness was beginning, Sripad Yamunacharya had become a king, Alabandaru. So Maharaj Alabandaru, at the age of 7, Sripad Yamunacharya had become a king. But before becoming a king, he was with his grandfather, Nathamuni. And his grandfather, Srila Nathamuni, was a great devotee of the Lord. And Yamunacharya had no parents. His parents died when he was an infant. His grandfather raised him. So his grandfather, a great devotee of the Lord, right from the beginning, when children are feeding on mother's milk, because he had no mother, his grandfather was feeding him Krishna Katha. Yeah, that was mother's milk for him, because there was no father, no mother. So he was being fed with Krishna Katha, instead of mother's milk, and that's how Yamunacharya had grown. One may say, wonderful, what a fortune. Somebody has been fed and raised on Krishna Katha, instead of mother's milk. What a kind of product it will be. Yes, Sripad Yamunacharya was such such an epitome of spiritual energy. And that is why when Sripad Yamunacharya at age 7, he was in the king's assembly, and Sripad Yamunacharya was debating. Nobody could stand in front of Sripad Yamunacharya. As a 7-year-old boy, was a living Bhagavatam. As a 7-year-old boy, was a living Bhagavatam, and the queen became so much attracted, and sold out, I mean, in love and affection, in love and affection, not lust. For this small boy, it was a small boy, motherly love, like that. And she felt so much love and affection for this boy, so she tweaked the king to bestow half of the kingdom to this boy. 7-year-old boy, half of the kingdom he gained, because of his spiritual fervor. So, and the king pardoned Nathamuni's debts for the government taxation. But now Sripad Yamunacharya was a king, and he was known as King Alabandaru. And Maharaj Alabandaru was such a terrific ruler. He would never stop. He was so dynamic. But now his energy and dynamism was not in expanding the preaching. His energy and dynamism was in expanding the kingdom. So he was constantly, he would be always on war. He would be always fighting wars and conquering territory after territory, land after land, land after land. So much so by the time he came to adult age, he was practically the ruler of the major tract of South India, entire South India. Sripad Alabandaru. But the consequence left his spiritual practices. His spiritual practices went for a toss. Now mind it, Sripad Yamunacharya, as Maharaj Alabandaru, he had terrific spiritual energy. He was radiating spiritual energy. He was an encyclopedia of the Vedas and Bhagavatam. He was a living encyclopedia radiating Bhagavatam. Even a person of such caliber. And mind it, specifically, he was not averse to Krishna consciousness ever. He was not at all unfavorable or not to Krishna consciousness ever. But the moment he also, even a person of such a spiritual caliber, when he got the kingdom, the power, the ruling, the material opulence, even he got so much obsessed and intoxicated by that, he had no time for chanting. He had no time for chanting. And that was the greatest pain in the heart of his grandfather, Nathamuni, who was so much paining and moaning that what happened to my grandson? He has become such a materialist. So he arranged his disciple, to help him out because Nathamuni was very, very old and just counting the last days of his life. So now you see the point. The Alabandaru is not atheist. He had such a terrific spiritual backup. But material energy, owing to the waves of material opulence, he completely forgot his spiritual practices. He was such a busy ruler. Nathamuni's disciple Ram Mishra, that was his name. Ram Mishra wanted to get audience, wanted a one-on-one meeting with Maharaj Alabandaru. He was not able to get. Months and months he tried. This Maharaj Alabandaru was so busy. Ram Mishra could never not even meet him. What to say of helping him out or converting him, or no, not converting him, but activating him or pleading him to take up Krishna consciousness. The wake up, shake up, take up, The wake up, shake up, take up was not happening. So Ram Mishra had to scratch his head. What to do? Prabhupada also taught the same strategy. When words don't work, Prasad will work. So Ram Mishra arranged a very special kind of shak called as Turumulai. And he went to the kitchen, the chef of Maharaj Alabandaru, and said, I have great love and affection for our Maharaj. All glories to Maharaj, may live 1000 years. And this is the offering from my crops. Please. Once try for Maharaj Alabandaru. The cook said, okay, some new kind of vegetable shak. He tried out one day. For himself, it tasted good. So he tried out for the king. Maharaj Alabandaru liked it. He liked it, And every day Ram Mishra was coming to give the shak. And Maharaj Alabandaru was every day eat it. And that became his favorite delicacy. It was a shak, it was his favorite delicacy, Turumulai, It was his favorite delicacy. After a few days and weeks, Ram Mishra didn't came. Now the chef was in a very precarious situation. So he did not make the shak that day. Maharaj Alabandaru was so angry. He threw the dinner. He didn't take the lunch. He said, no, I'll not take. I want that shak. The problem is Ram Mishra had closed the GPS. Nobody could track him. His mobile was in flight mode. So, yeah. So, so he appeared after some days. Immediately the cook called him, hey, where were you? Where are you? Where you get the shak from? The king wants it every day. He said, rather, the king wants to meet you. You please come. He took him by the hand and put him in front of. That's how Ram Mishra got audience. The moment, Now Alabandaru, Maharaj Alabandaru, now if you give him Bhagavatam, he will not listen. So he told him, your grandfather Nathmuni left his body, but he left a great treasure for you. Would you like to take it? Immediately Maharaj Alabandaru said, treasure, wonderful, I need it immediately. It was the evening hours. Ram Mishra said, no, we have to go in the midnight. He said, okay, done. No armies, okay, done. No GPS, okay, done. No cell phones, no, okay, done. You and me all alone. Maharaj Alabandaru said, anything for treasure, no problem. So Ram Mishra took him off on the chariot in the dead of the night, all alone. Nobody is informed. And while Ram Mishra is driving, Maharaj Alabandaru sitting at the back of the chariot, Ram Mishra is writing verses of Bhagavatam, reciting verses of Gita. And Maharaj Alabandaru, he is getting reminiscence of his childhood days. And slowly, Maharaj Alabandaru is hearing, he starts crying, oh, my grandfather was teaching me all these things, and these verses started ringing in his existence, and his existence started vibrating. There was resonance. There was the Rameshwara, the Maharaj Alabandaru getting resonance, and he's saying, oh, please go on reciting. He's crying, oh, alas, I wasted my life. And like this, Ram Mishra took him to the greatest treasure which his grandfather had kept him, straight into Sri Ranganath temple, and took the chariot in front of the deities of Lord Ranganath Swami, and he said, "Here is the treasure which your grandfather had left for you." By that time, Maharaja Ala Bandharu completely awakened. He never went back to rule. He became the great Acharya of the Sri Sampradaya, Sripad Yamanacharya. So the point is that the devotee association can create that awakening, that wake up and shake up actually. So therefore we will see that in our lives also we may have different kinds of attachment. And if we allow these attachments to prevail and percolate and permeate, these attachments can create a kind of obsession and slumber, so much so that Krishna consciousness slowly starts going in the background and then the back seat and then into the oblivion. So therefore what we need also is to connect more and more strongly to the association of devotees. Because more closely we go to devotees, the vibration affects us. It creates a shake-up effect. It creates a wake-up effect. That's the point. It creates a shake-up effect and a wake-up effect, like that. So that's the point. So and that's why one should place oneself in this intense association, because it creates a wake up and shake up, so that we can take up. So we see just like our it was such a great blessing. His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj was here, and when His Holiness Indradumna Maharaj was here, and we were wondering what all programs we can do. Maharaj is coming, we have to do some programs, So we did congregation program, we did another program, and then we thought, okay, let us do a youth program also. So we were wavering, but then we thought, okay, because Maharaj is there, let's do a youth program also for Maharaj, Now in the December time, we know how to get youth and where to get youth from, we were trying out, and we could gather some, no, I mean, it was okay program, with some 400, youths and corporates, who were there, all new people. So all new people, like that. But going through that process of arranging the youth program, all of us were involved. All of us were getting inspiration to start youth preaching in more colleges, like that. So now we are starting preaching in some preaching batches are starting. Some 2-3 colleges, 2 colleges specifically, we are starting preaching. There's one National Institute of Homeopathy. 100 students came from there. There is one IMU. Students didn't came because they had holiday, but we understood that we should do some more preaching. Like that, we'll start preaching now in a week or so. Like that. So you see the point. It is all because of association. So we were thinking, okay, we were doing nice, already so much preaching is happening, But then, you see the divine association, was there, and all of a sudden now we are now we are taking up more preaching, increase the preaching, That is, so the wake up and shake up, is very essential actually. If we simply connect to this great association, then there is this, so this shake up and shake up and wake up is a very welcome, fortunate phase in our life. And when that intense association, because by the influence of the intense association, there is a shake up and then there is a wake up. So then we will be able to take up. Let's stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, so we'll stop here for today. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Haribo.